What's up guys, TechFlash here, and today I'm going to talk about EMUI 10 because I finally got the beta update on my P30 Pro. So today we are going to compare the EMUI 10 with the older version of EMUI 9.1, and the cell phone devices which we are going to use today is going to be the P30 Pro for the EMUI 10 and Honor 20 Pro for EMUI 9.1, and I'm going to compare these devices side by side to show you what are the biggest changes when it comes to EMUI 9.1 to EMUI 10. So one of the biggest highlights of EMUI 10 is surely going to be the camera interface. Now there are no new features introduced with EMUI 10. However, the whole camera interface has been overhauled. You can see that the blue color is now replaced with the red accent, and also you can see that the actual shutter button is now different, and whenever you are changing any kind of mode, it shows the name of the mode on the top side of it. Also you can see that the more menu is changed a little bit. However, all the changes are quite cosmetic and you are not going to find any new feature when it comes to EMUI 10 camera setup. Another big highlight with EMUI 10 is the notification panel, which is much more different than the last time, and you can clearly see that last time it was much more cluttered, but now the icons are bigger, which makes it quite similar to what we saw with Samsung's One UI, and it allows us to use every single notification setting using a single hand and increases the usability of the overall device quite much. One of my favorite things about EMUI 10 is surely going to be the setting menu, which has been redesigned, and you can see that every single menu is now a bit bigger, which makes it easy to use it in single hand and also make it much more visible. However, when you open any setting, the internal menus remain quite the same, and most of the time you are getting the same settings if you open the main setting option. Other differences include the way contacts are shown on EMUI 9 and EMUI 10. In EMUI 9 it was much more colorful, but with EMUI 10 it's much more simple, and your contacts are now showing up as letters, just like you see in Gmail if you are using that application. Also in the dark mode you can see that with EMUI 10 there are much more gray areas, and the use of gray has been increased, while on the EMUI 9.1 it was much more black and white. Also you can see that the camera interface is quite different when compared side by side. Another area where you can see a clear difference between EMUI 9.1 and EMUI 10 is going to be the clock application, where everything has been redesigned, and there is an analog clock available now instead of the digital one which you would find in EMUI 9.1. Applications such as browsers are optimized now for single-handed use, which means that your search bar is now much more in the middle of the device instead of being on the top side. Finally, a big change between two of these operating systems is going to be the dialer menu, which is much more simpler now, and when you dial any kind of number in EMUI 9.1 you would see different types of gradients, but with EMUI 10 it's much more simpler, and with this dark mode it looks quite nice. Now there are many features which are included with EMUI 10, but those are just cosmetic changes, so I'm not including them in this video. Also, I want to include here that the always on color display is still not enabled, so if you want to use that, it's still not available in this beta version, but I'm expecting that in a later update it would be enabled, and I will be posting a video about that whenever it comes out. So if you're new to the channel, do subscribe and do like this video because it took some effort to make this one, and I will catch you in the next one. Till then, goodbye.